Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. So in Quran, in the deeper study of the surahs today, I'm going to be doing Surah Al Mulk, the second ayah. Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. So in the second ayah, Allah says, "Allazi khalaqal mauta wal hayata liyabluwakum ayyukum ahsanu amala wa huwal azizul ghafur." So let's look at the translation first. He is the one who created death and life in order to test which of you is better in deeds, and He is almighty and extremely forgiving. So Allah created death and life. Allah said in the first ayah that He is Qadir, that means that capable of all things. So, what is a better sample of being capable than being in control of life and death? Having power over someone's life demonstrates having absolute control and authority over them. And Allah is the one who created death and life means that Allah alone holds such capability and power. No one else has the power of creation like Allah does. So then there is one thing that we need to note here, that Allah says that Allazi khalaqal mauta wal hayata. So the mention of death is before the mention of life. Why is that? So it is a surah of inzar, meaning it's a surah of warning. The biggest warning is that we all are going to die and Allah is capable of giving us death anytime. Another reason is why the death precedes life is that we used to be nothing, dead and dirt. Then He created us and gave us life, so death precedes life, and nothing will put our act together than the prospect of us dying. So death is mentioned first to warn us so that we can correct ourselves. Then the next is that so He is the one who created death and life in order to test which of us is better in deeds. Meaning like الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا. So which of us do better in deeds. So the Arabic word ahsan is translated as best, but it can also mean better. This ayah would mean that Allah will test people to give them a chance to do better, to improve, to develop, and to get closer to Him. Allah has designed our life to be the one in which people will experience tests in form of fortune and misfortune. These tests are designed so He can see that which of us does better and improves themselves for the better. So there can be different ways, like which of us are better in using our intellect for good, who is mindful of death and prepare for it, and then better in obeying Allah, and trials and tests, they basically help to purify us. So moving on in the ayah, Allazi khalaqal mauta, He is the one who created death and He also created life. Liyabluwakum, so He can test ayyukum ahsanu amala, which of us is doing better in deeds. Wahuwal Azizul Ghafur. So Al Aziz and Al Ghafur, two names of Allah are mentioned. So Al Aziz is supreme authority that commands respect, and Al Ghafur is exceedingly forgiving. The combination of the two names used by Allah in this ayah have a stark contrast with each other. The first is Al Aziz, which invokes the idea of power and authority and punishment, while the second name is Al Ghafur, which invokes love and forgiveness and kindness. So both of them are used, and what lesson can we get from this is that two names, the lesson learned from these two names is that the believer should not become complacent or by taking Allah's mercy to an extreme. They're like doing bad deeds all the time and thinking, oh, Allah is so merciful, He's not going to punish us. So this is one extreme. Nor should they be so scared of punishment that they are not able to do anything. So to summarize, Allah is the one who created death and life in order to test which of you is better in deeds, and He is almighty and extremely forgiving. So Allazi khalaqal mauta wal hayata liyabluwakum ayyukum ahsanu amala wa huwal azizul ghafur. So this was ayah number 2. Inshallah, when I do ayah number 3, I'll make a video of that also. Fi amanillah.